time is subjected. Do you know what the meaning of subjected, if you understand? Time is subjected. Do you know what the meaning of subjected is? It means formation. It means formation of an opinion. शक्ति दे बाबा, मुझे शक्ति दे, डुअलिटी ना दे, शक्ति दे, मेरे पास वक्त बहुत कम है, मेरे को शक्ति दे, विल पावर. Subjective is whoever, the formation of an opinion. It's the most acceptable definition. I'm not here to deliver you English grammar. I'm not here to deliver you English class. This is not, as a matter of fact, I don't want to use the word hate, but if you want to use and imagine, that's how I look at English. English language became international because in the past, okay, it's a fact of the history. In the past, English people, English precisely in double quotation, subjugated and did not respect rest of the creation. There are numerous videos. There are numerous African American people. There are numerous Indian and also people from Africa. They speak out loud. In the present age, whoever you are, we understand you didn't commit those atrocities, but you must apologize for your forefathers. Anyway, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. I'm just saying I do not like English language. The only reason I use it, because for me it is more important to deliver truth than to pay attention to my liking and to pay attention to my disliking. For me, it is more important to bring clarity in you. That's what I signed up for. I don't know if you can tell or not, it doesn't matter. I partially grew up in Britain. And in the past years, I had numerous and in the past year, when I was growing up, I mean in Britain, if you understand, I was young, obviously. I'm older than the universe itself, but I'm manifesting in this body. And when I am manifesting in this body, I grew up back in Britain. You know, I went to good business schools in England, in Britain, you know. England is in Britain. Britain is not in England. That would be the very primary definition. Every now and then, alongside delivering you truth and wisdom, I give you a little bit of history and English lessons, you know. I accomplished my academics from Britain, you know, and I accomplished my qualifications. I went to business school in Britain. I got my associate degree, see, and then one can wonder, yes, then what is happening? Well, when there was time up north in the state of Washington, I made some use of the business degree. My life is not like you. We are not like you. Your life, you know what your life is? You have given false meaning to life. I have to raise a family. These are all false meaning. I have to raise children. I have to make friends, you know, and I have to extend my social circle. I have to extend my public relation. I have to earn money. I have to travel. These are all the false connotations, if you understand. These are all the false connotations that you have given, basically. These are all the false meaning. This is your connotation. You know what your connotation is? Basically, your connotation, I am bored. I don't know why I am here. When I say why I am here, it means on this planet Earth. Because you have no clarity. Life itself has no meaning. You are not on planet Earth. You are experiencing a three-dimensional reality, which is nothing but the shape and form that we understand in Sanskrit, nama rupa. But I don't want you to, I want to keep it as simple, or at least I would try. I would make an attempt, So you have given false connotations and meaning. And when you die, you know what happens to you? You go back and the light resonates and the light appears and the communication starts. What you have got to show me, people state their near-death experiences. If you are a follower in my YouTube channel, quite a while back, probably the year before, probably in 2001, October. Have you heard of October? In the October of 2001, I stated my own near-death experience. That experience triggered the karma. Some karma can be triggered. Some karma can be triggered in you. Some karma can be triggered in you after numerous years. It does not manifest right away, but your karma is not going anywhere. That experience that I died clinically triggered what the achievement I had made in my previous life spiritually. That's the only achievement So, and then I picked from there, and the result right now is in front of you. Okay. So time, I started this video, remember, time is subjective, if you understand. The formation of the opinion varies who is forming the opinion. Time is subjective. Do you realize not everybody experiences time the same way? Something which varies and can be experienced only how you are perceiving is a lie. You understand that? Do you understand time is a marker? It's not real. Do you understand? Any time when you are experiencing 4 p.m., it's now. When you are experiencing 6 a.m., it's now. When you are experiencing 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock? Have you experienced 12 o'clock between your legs? I'm sure you have. 12 o'clock, it's still now, if you understand, huh? So now is all you have. That's the thing. So I have been rapping basically from this experience for almost a year and a half now. There are numerous videos that I mentioned my transition is near. And people start wondering, you cannot, what the word I'm looking for, you cannot gauge, that's the word, you cannot gauge my experience of time as you are. You understand? Once the Kundalini is awakened, for a Gyani, for a yogi, is very different. I can take from 6 months to an year and a half, or even 2 years, just wrapping up my business here. And then I would move on. That's number one to remember. Number two, this place where I'm staying, I have told you it's not good for me to be here anymore. You know why? Because there is so much other can do when your legs are failed, which is obviously, I do not complain. It's fine. I know I'm going to my bodily transition. That's why these things are manifesting now. Both of the legs are not functioning, with the exception of my Kundalini practice that I tell you, and I say, do not do that without a person who has total mastery on it. Don't attempt, don't look at yes poses and try to attempt Kundalini, or don't read tutorials and online things. I stressed about that. Anyway, my mission right now is, as I said, if you are able to help, that would help me tremendously. If you are able to help, that would help me tremendously. On my Facebook, that hashtag is over there. On my YouTube, basically, is yesterday when I posted the video on YouTube, in the comment section hashtag. You see, nobody is saying, but if you are capable, if you are able, you see, that would help me to move to ashram, where I can spend the few days left in my incarnation close to the people who generate same karma as me, if you understand that. Not many humans, if you know, not many humans, specifically in the society. India is just about a different story. There is nothing right or wrong between these two countries, nor there is a comparison, if you understand, nor there is a comparison. But over there, Hinduism, a series of spiritual practices, not a religion, and a geographical identity is predominating. So you have plenty of chances. You go right around the corner, you find people of the same karma. Do you know a place has karma? Do you know, are you aware of it? That places have their own karma. A house has its own karma. Then a town has its own karma. Then a city has its own karma. Then numerous cities make one state, as we see here in America. That state has its own karma. Then all the states, entire country has its own karma. Are you aware of it? Do you know? Do you have the awareness that what I am saying? You see, and then all the countries making the globe, Earth, as you are experiencing, has its own karma. What happens when the karma, because of your actions, karma is deed, action, something that which is done, if you understand. Karma is intention, if you know. Karma is intention, and then action based on the intention. First you have intention, then action based on the intention, and then its impression, you see. Once you clear the fog, you know it firsthand because it is revealed to you. So yeah, that appeal remains there. It would help me to move to an ashram. There I can find people and I can pass on. You see, that would help me passing on in a great karmic structure. That's my wish is. That would give me the opportunity to travel to an ashram and spend my rest of the days, and spend my remaining days, if you know, spend my rest of the days, spend my remaining days there, so my transition can happen. And that's a beautiful way to go. It's something that I desire for. But we'll see what Brahman has planned for me. You know, there is a saying that God, you see, God had different plans for me than I had for myself, or God had greater plans for me than I had for myself. I don't believe in God because there is none. So I said, but let's just not expend this too much, because you have zero imagination. Excuse me, you have zero focus. You do not know how to control it. Okay, time is very less for me. Now let me emphasize one thing and one fact that would help you. Now let me put emphasis on one fact. When you are suffering, you are suffering your loneliness, you are single, you are suffering the relationship. Now, if you are in a relationship, you are suffering, in the end, you are suffering your psychological drama. Don't seek refuge in don't seek refuge in anything. Don't seek refuge by, you understand what I'm saying or no? Pay attention to. I'm giving you a tool. I'm liberating you. I'm trying to free you. When you suffer, I'm not saying do not do anything about it, but your mind, the mind of all humanity, is so conditioned to think only critically. This is how you know life. That's why you humans interact each other in such a miserable way that's unbelievable. Even telling somebody I love you seems like a hard work or workout. Anyway, that's what you have made out of yourself for after 50,000 years of evolution, as goes for your race. That's what you have done. Anyway, moving on. When you are suffering, in the end, you are just suffering your memory and your emotion, but it can manifest. I'm lonely. I have no one. Lonely. I'm lonely. I got nobody help me. That's what your game is. You suffer like this. Whatever the manifestation of your suffering is, do not seek refuge anywhere instantly. There is a difference. Seeking refuge can lead you to more misery, if you understand. Seeking refuge can lead you even to more severe consequences than the suffering itself is. I hope you are following me. You don't need to believe or disbelieve me. Just pay attention to the sound of my voice, and that's all you gotta do. Pay attention to that. This is very important, powerful if understood correctly. Do not seek a refuge instantly in other things, so you can avoid it. You see, your first job basically is to accept the situation. You see, you are in denial. When suffering starts, you try to deny. It's not happening. Here in West, so many pathetic institutions, including that AA meetings for alcoholics, they verbalize, they keep you remember over and over the stupid mistakes you have made. In West, we don't see any spiritual growth. That's why we are here. To free you. That's why we are here, to liberate you, because we don't see any type of spiritual composure, any type of spiritual insight. You see, it's pathetic even. I'm just giving you one example of this AA, making you remember of the mistakes that you have made. Do you want to die remembering the mistakes you have made? Do you want to die like that? Answer. Do you want to, huh? Thy will be done. You see, if this is what your will, thy will be done. Anyway, do not seek refuge. It would lead you to further disaster. I can promise. The sound of my very voice that you are hearing. You see, I know things you do not know, and I also know things that you know. First, accept the situation. Okay, this is what I'm handed over. What can I do? Then learn to detach yourself fully. The only way you would learn to detach yourself fully, cut the ribbons and the ties from the situation, is when you realize you are not your body and you are not the mind of humanity. When you would create sufficient distance, accept the situation first. I'm not asking you not to do anything about the situation. That's not what I am saying. I'm saying acceptance of the situation. You understand? Once you accept the situation, then you can detach yourself and you can look at the situation or suffering as a spectator, as an observer. A spectator. You understand the meanings of a spectator? A spectator. You are, and that kind of awareness and clarity, and that kind of awareness and clarity can only be risen in you once you fully realize experientially you are not your mind, you are not your body. You can, what you essentially are basically, namaskar, what you essentially are basically was never born and is not subject. It was not what you essentially are is not subject to birth. That's what I'm saying. And it's not subject to bodily demise. That's what I'm saying. Once you, and then you can only get there, only get to this clarity when you do meditation. There is no other way. I can bet my life on it. So meditate. You understand what I'm saying to you? Meditate every day, every day. Shanti meditation. As long as I'm around for a few days or weeks, if you can afford to bring me in person, I can take you to Shanti meditation. That itself that itself would bring tremendous amount of clarity. You are suffering because you cannot see right. There is no clarity. Meditation brings clarity. And then we can advance. I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not saying that I do not know, but I rephrase. I don't think that I have that kind of time. But if life allows, I would give you the gift of Kriya meditation. Once you detach and you look and observe the suffering as a spectator, then you would come to the brilliant solutions, not the conclusions. Then you would come to the brilliant and extremely right solution of whatever the suffering is. I can bet my life you would come to the right type of solution, the best solution of the suffering, if you just learn to detach yourself. And that can only happen when you have the clarity. Excuse me. That can only happen when you have the clarity you are not your mind. And because your mind is the collective consciousness of humanity. You understand that, right? You are not your mind and you are not your body. Then the clarity would come. Once the clarity comes, then you can observe the situation. But you need to let the fear go, if you understand. I do not know. You like that, huh? I do not know that if you understand or no, but I made it as simple as humanly possible. Once you learn to detach and you realize fully you are not your mind and not the collective consciousness of all humanity, mostly full of poison, duality, fear. But once you once you challenge and grow the guts and see what's been handed over to me, then you would know, then you would detach and you would come to the right conclusion, the perfect solution of your suffering. I can bet you. This is very powerful. Rewatch this video. If you have questions, my services to you humans are free. You understand? My services to you humans are free. So rewatch this video. Rewatch this video if you misunderstood something, if you are perplexed about something. You understand? If you have some type of confusion, you see, and you can write me and I can answer and bring more clarity. But remember something, pay attention, rewatch this video and see how powerful that is. What the tool, the very powerful spiritual tool that I gave you, that how you can basically do something, how you can do something about your very suffering. If you know how can you get the best solution, how can you get the best solution to your suffering. And the only way you would realize that you are not your mind of humanity and your body is through meditation, which is practical. Very simple, very simple. It does not even require, absolutely, it doesn't require even any help from outside. It does not even require any help from outside. One person. Let's meditate. Let's do practical, but not run the mouth. You humans have learned to run your mouth. You run it all the time, I see. When it comes down to practical, I'll do it tomorrow. Somebody comes and abuses you verbally, you want to get even right then and there. You don't want to do that tomorrow, huh? You do not procrastinate. You do not wait over there. But when it comes down to your own well-being, I will do it tomorrow. Don't bullshit yourself. Please. Live in reality, the reality of the Brahma. Live in a reality, the reality of the Creator. Live in it, not your reality, which is happening in your mind and varies and subjected, basically, and varies and subjected. Who is perceiving? There's no reality. Reality is the reality of Creator. Reality is the reality of Brahman. Let's meditate. You are not off the hook. You gotta do practical. Here we go. Here we go again. We could be more than friends. Yeah, you could be. Anyway. Uh, Mm.